So, you're having issues with the directionality of TATA boxes. I've got you. I've been there. I figured it out. This video will explain how.
The thing about TATA boxes is that they're red in the 5 to 3 direction. Now, there's 2 ways to read them, however. So first, T-A-T-A-A, TATA. 5 to 3. Makes sense, right? Right to left. However, you can have it look like this. T-A-T-T-A. This is read from left to right. However, it's still in the 5 to 3 prime direction. So when we apply this to say an example, let's put the TATA box here. Yes. And let's put it in reverse too. So 3 to 5. T-A-T-T-A. You will note that the TATA boxes only ever appear on the coding strand of DNA. And the coding strand is where RNA polymerase attaches to. So first, let's figure out some directionalities. You will read this in the 5 to 3 prime direction. This is why this is the TATA box. In this example, you'll notice we're reading it backwards. So this is 5 and this is 3. TATA, like this, TATA. Now, you'll also know that the coding strands are read in the 5 to 3 prime direction. So in this scenario, this will be the 5 end, and this will be the 3 end, because it feeds in the 5 to 3 prime direction. TATA. Let's say in an alternate example, where the 5 is over here and the 3 is over here, we were actually reading the box in what seems to be the more sensical way, TATA like so, 5 to 3, the directionality will be reversed, because you read it in the 5 to 3 prime direction. You are reading it in the way in which it says the word TATA. TATA, 5 to 3. TATA, TATA, 5 to 3. And then the strands will also follow in that direction in which you read TATA, 5 to 3. Next, the strand that is not the coding strand, which this is the coding strand, by the way, is the template strand. Why is this the template strand? Well, let me show you. So, first, let's do some obvious stuff. This will be the anti-parallel strand. So, the opposite of 5 is 3, and the opposite of 3 is 5. Now, as you know, the TATA box is where the RNA polymerase attaches to. I will draw it like so. The template strand is where the mRNA will be made. This is the mRNA, and this is the template strand. So, in this situation, basically, the template strand is read in the 3 to 5 direction, unlike the coding strand. The coding strand is 5 to 3. The template strand is read to 3 to 5. What does that mean? Well, that is the direction in which these bases are made. This way, 3 to 5. So, the RNA polymerase attaches to the TATA box, and then through it, it feeds the mRNA, which reads the template strand in a 3 to 5 prime direction. So, the directionality of transcription will be in this direction. In the direction you read this TATA box is from 5 to 3. Now, if you understand these key components, you can figure it out for other scenarios in which the TATA box could appear over here, or over here, on a 5-way or a 3-way.
That's all. Hope this helped.